Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week, and your chance to participate with Kevin and Sean in the monthly Nash and Friends watch-along show. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
I planned on asking Kevin about the documentary Superfan about Vladimir, the front row stalwart at MSG shows.
And I was going to talk
decades.
to you. I was going to talk to you about the '68 World Series with the Tigers and the Cardinals. But
everyone else realized that I asked about that last week. This is fucked. I was sitting at a red light today, and my wife asked me about my daughter has to do this big 10-page research paper for college, and she's got to go into the city and look at some shit for it. And I'm like, oh, that's due at the end of the semester. She's like, I thought she said like the 30th of November. So I was like, no. I think I remember asking her last week. She said, she opens her phone. She goes, you texted her an hour ago and said, when is it due? And she said the 30th. I'm like, let me see that. That's my name? Is that me? It's there. So you talk about supplements for working out all the time. I'm not going to work out. If you can find a supplement, seriously, for memory.
better watch out, man. I'm the one with the CTE on the show. You know, another thing too, all you people out there that say I'm really worried about Nash's breathing. Number one, my nose has been broken so many times. Listen to this. Okay, so I can't breathe. Do you realize how close this thing, like people, this is right next to my mouth. So if I have any phlegm, it's not like I can sit here and hack up and shit. It's like, so if I'm fine.
That's the second show. We mic all different parts of your body and
I
just collect noises through the
And
show.
these people are like, like, I'm really worried about Nash's breathing. I'm like, well, Jesus, I didn't have any problem at the fucking gym today. My heart was 132.
No, the mic is close. And if you don't use that, then they tell you you're too far from the mic.
Well, that was the whole thing with that other fucking gimmick you need to, they kept telling Steve what technical things he needed to do.
Right.
And I'd watch it back, and 1 minute I'd be sliding against the fucking wall, and the next one I'd be laying down underneath the fucking monitor.
Can't make anyone happy.
No.
You know what would be terrible for you? I sleep with an apnea mask, which is inserted into it's not inserted, but it lays on the nostrils. Pillows, they call them, land. So it's like, the hospital deal where it's.
I've tried it.
Yeah. And if you have a clogged nose at all, it's
Unbelievable.
impossible. It's impossible. So you would do very poorly, as you clearly did.
Well, they told me that was the whole thing. He said, well, we can go in there and surgically do this, this, and this. And at this point now, I'd rather get the fucking gimmick where you do the wand over your fucking,
They do an insertion.
Yeah, that's them talking about that thing where you put the wand on it, and it turns it on, and you fucking,
I can't. That just seems a little too science fiction. I'm like the $6 million man. I got this fucking thing in me, and I don't know. I think it would bother me psychologically. I don't know. How's your week?
I just know that I snore like fuck.
Well, that would cure it. The mask would cure it for sure.
Yeah, but it's like I went and had a sleep study done. It's just like I REM sleep. It's not like I'm not getting. It's not like I'm not rested.
How
It's
many
just,
times do you have interrupted sleep? It must have been on the report.
oh, I don't know. It's been so long ago.
Well, that's the thing is that there's probably a cessation of breathing here or there that causes that noise, that horrible rock grinder that goes on in your throat. I don't know. You're either going to do it or not, but it's good for your health. Reggie White died from.
I know he did, but I mean, I'm more worried about the new COVID, cardiac, the protein spikes from the COVID vaccines.
One organization puts that out.
Well,
funded by whom?
The thing is, too, all I do know is this, that there's 2 different heart ailments that have came out of people that use the vaccine. And Pfizer bought the company that puts out both the medications for like $9 billion. So that kind of tells me that there might be a little validity to it.
If that's true, that's hilarious. That is tremendous. What'd you do this week? I didn't talk to you. You were very busy.
So my wife's been having some hip pains. And so she went to a local orthopedic guy here, and they did an MRI, and there's nothing wrong with the ball, but there's I don't even know if I kept to like what they're going to check for. Let me see if she's in here.
You going to show us the X-ray?
No, it was
no, the MRI.
It's some kind of a disorder where the top of your femur stops getting blood. So,
wow.
The first thing they do is like they go in. It's a minimal procedure, and they just drill some holes into the top of the femur, and they get blood through it that way. The other thing, eventually, if it gets bad enough, they just do a hip replacement.
Ugh.
So, which is fucking nothing.
A hip, yeah.
Fuck
I know
hip.
it's supposed to work. Anyone who's had a talk
a hip is no. I mean, it's a dance compared to the knee.
Oh.
Because they go in through the front now. They used to go through the glute,
right,
and cut through all that tissue. Now they go in through the front. Scott was up and around in no time.
Right.
And
did they go through his ass or through the front? They had already had the front.
They had the front gimmick.
Okay.
So we go to this. The guy gives us this specialist. So, and we got 11 o'clock appointment, so we drove over Wednesday night and stayed in a hotel. And so we wouldn't have to fucking, it would be impossible to make that 2.5 hour drive.
9 a.m. 95. I-4,
no,
actually.
It's I-4.
Yeah.
It's I-4 to 75. So we went over the night before, and got up, and we drove over, and it's through this really like a nice area, beautifully landscaped, windy road, little man-made lake, and I can see this Spanish, Mediterranean, I guess it would be, style, big ass building, and attached to it is through this. It almost looks like Sanford University, like this tiled walkways and all this shit. And I see this big surgery center. I said, "Oh fuck," So immediately I'm thinking and now all I see is old people in wheelchairs everywhere. So it looks like a VA like almost like a VA place. So we go in, and it's the doctor's situation is it's set up kind of like an H. So you go to one of the, A, B, C, or D, and her doctor's A. So we go up this hallway, turn the corner, and in the waiting room, it looks like everybody that was supposed to pick up like somebody at a senior home and take them someplace that day just picked them up and dropped them off. It was like all, and I'm like,
well, orthopedists, it's probably every orthopedist office is a
not
little like that,
mine.
No,
I got an orthopedic.
When you go to a sports guy,
yeah.
Well, all right.
So immediately I'm thinking like, okay, so this guy is supposed to be like the guy, but like to me, I always tell this to people that tell me, they say, yeah, I've got to get a surgery and I'm looking for an orthopedic guy, and I know you've had a lot of operations. What should I look for? And I always tell them, you should look for somebody who's got clients that are going to be paid $50 million, whether or not they, if you don't get them healthy, they're going to get the money anyway. So you probably want somebody that's job is to get people back on the court or back on the field, even if it's a pro bowlers tour, like, and I said, but to butcher somebody that's already crippled in a wheelchair, like, what's the upside? How do you know that they've got any success? They're 80. Like, what they're going to start squatting, and all of a sudden my hip feels great. So we sat there, and they said, we're running about an hour and a half behind.
Whoa.
And Tamara says, I've got to use the restroom. And I can just see the look on her face. Meantime, I call my orthopedic surgeon. So I'm like, why the fuck didn't we just call Brad, So Dr. Holman's my surgeon. And it's like, I text him, and he didn't get right back to me, but I said, he will. I said, I don't know why, I'm just thinking because I was gone on the road when she did this process. So I'm thinking like, this is like the guy that does this procedure. Mm-hmm. And that's why she's there. Not just it's some fucking, shithole that, just takes anybody. So she comes around the corner, and and she had put her purse and her, like a little hoodie on her chair when she went to go to the restroom. And I'm standing in the hallway with her purse and her hoodie. She goes, "What are we doing?" I said, "All right, I got your MRI back from the nurse." I said, "I canceled your appointment. She's not charging us." And I said, "We're going to go home." She looked at me like, she said, "Seriously?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I contacted Brad." I said, "You're going to go see him." I said, we're not doing this." As we're leaving, now we walk all the way back up this hallway. So we're leaving. This lady walks in with her husband. She's in a wheelchair. And she says to the receptionist, "I'm back again." I'm thinking, yeah, exactly. Could you imagine fucking 10 trips like this? Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah, but you would have made that doctor's day. He's got to go through all those altacaccas all day, and then, no disrespect, and Tamara walks in. He gets to inspect her hip for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost the lottery ticket that day.
Yeah, but he would have a hard time looking at her hip if I had one of my balls in each one of his eye sockets.
That's now called the Wesley, by the way. It's officially been renamed. So that was so you literally left there and you went to see Dr. Holman.
No, we fucking went home.
So when she's seeing
she went home, she FedExed her MRI to doc today, so I'm sure it'll be probably next week.
Good God. That's the Nash, by the way, that's called. When something's not working, like, what did we get in advertising this month? Get on the phone. Sirius XM. Front desk, please. Yeah.
No,
holding my hoodie in the hallway all the time.
I tell, if you don't fucking bitch, you don't get shit done in life.
What if Dr. Holman, is it Holman?
Yes, Holman.
Holman. Who was Rodney Holman? I'm thinking Cincinnati Bengals, right? Rodney Holman. All right, anyway.
I think he was on that Superfan fucking piece.
Right. I want to talk about that eventually, too.
Again.
But what if you have to wait? I talked about that already. What if you have to wait a month for this guy?
Her hip ain't going nowhere.
Oh, pain. Tight end, Cincinnati Bengals, 1982-1992.
She's tough.
Holman, by the way. All right. Well, I hope she does better. Well, you know what? It was a night away. Look at it that way, right? It wasn't wasted time. It was a night away in Central Florida.
We found an Italian restaurant. Had a nice bottle of wine.
You should have hit up Bull and Bear. You were down there. Guys.
We went to the Cock and Balls.
This week, Dick Blisters was listening, and he said Mr. Nash is so humble. If you ever see him in the fight scene from The Punisher, that was award-worthy. He should be the lead villain in a movie, kicking the shit out of Tom Hardy or similar. A reaction to you saying that you weren't featured enough in films to be considered in that discussion with, who was it, Jericho? That was talking about?
Yeah.
With my memory, it could have been Lanny Poffo, but it was somebody, Jericho, talking about the great wrestling actors in film, and I brought up your name, but Dick Blisters thinks that the fight scene alone would have qualified you for that. So, Gabriel Thomas, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Big Sexy. Now at 22, I still want to be like him. Definition of cool. Love the show, guys. Well, we love you, Gabriel, for loving us.
Thanks, Gabe.
Mr. Berger, the Saturday night's main event reference is a bit of a throwback to the Bunkhouse Stampede. Keep it coming. Great content. I didn't put it in, but somebody would actually commented that, I'm going to paraphrase here, but it was like how disrespectful Oliver is for, Nash clearly wants to talk about wrestling, and Sean just keeps throwing in the Saturday night's. What planet are people fucking on where they don't get the banter? They don't get the banter. The last thing Kevin wants to talk about right now is wrestling at all. Saturday night's main event from 1985.
I mean, I wanted to
Survivor
talk about
Series
that.
this month.
I just didn't know. I just didn't have a reference.
But it's always everybody's looking to fucking smear somebody. Oh, disrespectful to keep no-selling the Saturday night's main event when Nash wants to talk about it. Mingy, God help us all. J-Tat
I was the one no-selling the fucking set. Then when I did sell it, you told me I couldn't.
That's right. That's how that works. J-Tat V 8323.
I was like,
that's bullshit.
Sell this.
Some Kliq This on a pull day at the gym. Life is good when it's just simple sometimes. I'm guessing he's talking about what? Those would be biceps, triceps?
No, pull. Back.
Pull.
Back and biceps.
Oh, back. Pulls like
pull.
that.
Pull downs. Rows.
I worked out I'm gonna tell you, I had a gym membership a few years back. Worked out very dedicated. Daily. Probably didn't do it right. You would tell me I didn't do it right, and I probably didn't. I took the creatine, like my friend Shane told me to do. My body does respond pretty quickly to stuff.
Everyone's does.
And it was inspiring for the 2 months that it happened. I'll just leave it at that. I'm on a diet now. I'm dizzy. I may call you Frank at some point today.
Well, you're already wanting to fucking talk about Vladimir.
About the Vladimir thing. I can't remember what my conversation I had with her on the phone. Oh my god!
Guys, when I did bodybuilding shows, I remember I used to bounce at a strip club. People would walk up to me and they'd be talking to me. I'd just look at them. I'd just see their mouth move. I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude.
Nothing for you.
Nah,
Got
I got
nothing
no
for
carbs
you.
in me, man.
Oh, it's gonna be two people staring at each other. This is gonna be
carb depletion is about as rough as it gets.
Yes, this is me and you are gonna stare at each other. It's gonna turn into grilling with JR right now.
I blew up to like 310, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I just don't weigh myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I immediately said, "Oh fuck!" So I went over and I got my blood done, and
because it was Wednesday, you get a lot of blood work.
I do.
But that's great, though. It's great. I
mean, first thing I wanted to do is I want to get my blood pressure checked. My blood pressure was as it always, like 117/70. Rest of my pulse was 68. So I'm like, all right. They did my glucose was. I'd already eaten something, so it was like 106. But then I wanted my my testosterone. I'm like, is my test, like, is my red blood cell through the roof? Like, what's going on? They ran everything. He says, no, dude, you're fine. And I've been getting stronger. So I'm just wondering if the stem cells are healing my shoulders. Like I did chest today, and I mean, from what I did last workout for 8 reps, I did 10 on my final set, and it was 295. So I was like, I haven't done 295 in fucking probably 5 years. So,
and you said you ballooned up to 310. Where do you try to be at?
Like 300.
Oh. So 10 over. I mean, the percentage of 300 that 10 is I mean.
Yeah, but if you're constantly like 300, every day, it's like all of a sudden you're 310. You're like, what the fuck? But I also started taking creatine. I haven't taken creatine in years.
When you eat, now you eat healthy, and do you ever crave? See, my wife says to me yesterday, because I'm going through the whole the depression of starting the diet and depriving myself of basically everything, and she's like, it gets easier once you get through this spot. You're not going to feel like that anymore.
First thing
going to stop.
But do
you not want a fucking pepperoni pizza right now? Tell me honestly.
No.
That a giant pepperoni pizza sitting there.
No, because I know
isn't as glorious as a woman on that table.
No, the minute it sat in my stomach for 45 minutes, I'd have the shits. I don't like pepper. Ugh.
Okay, sausage, whatever. The onions, whatever. Garlic. What do you want on it? All the above, I would take, by the way.
None. I don't eat garlic. I hate garlic. Hate onions.
Really? Okay. So what's your crave food? If it's not a pizza, what is it? A Big Mac? What would it be? I'm going to be bad food.
I honestly don't have one. I don't.
Colostrum?
I'm not a sweet eater.
Right.
I like wine.
Right.
That's the only thing I have to cut out of my diet. Is I have to cut red wine out of my diet.
You?
When I diet for something.
Oh! I thought you meant now you were given some kind of dictate that you have to take it out of it.
No, if I had it's
your oxygen.
So,
all right.
Eric Bischoff here again, telling you about our friends over at SaveWithConrad.com. Now, Conrad's always talking about how they are helping homeowners save money, but did you know that Conrad and his team can also help you become a homeowner? They make the home buying process more enjoyable than, I don't know, making out with Stephanie and Linda. Ouch! But don't take my word for it.
Hi, I'm Sarah Davis, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. So my husband has been a huge fan of Conrad's podcast for many, many years, and for years we were on road trips and he would have me listen to it And then I got really into it. And so when it came time for us to buy a house, it was kind of like, there's really no other option at this point. Like, we have to go down this path, right? It was the best. I worked with Steve. I don't know what to do. I was looking more for preparing to buy a house. How do I get this in order? What does this need to look like? What do I need to move around? What's more important that I pay off first? Because I'm a first-time home buyer. I don't know what that needs to look like. So that's when I called you guys and I talked with Steve, and phenomenal from day one. I got a full education on home buying before I was ever asked to fill out an application, before I was ever asked to do anything, which is just, I mean, I cannot brag on you guys enough. I literally cannot tell enough people about you, because we would not have a home if it weren't for you, if it weren't for that interaction and weren't for the learning process. And I feel like I went into being a first-time home buyer by the time we got through the end of the process with the same education that people need 4 or 5 homes to buy. And so now I feel like, all right, well, we can do this. We can do real estate. I can actually make good decisions and ask good questions at closing and beyond because of everything that you taught me. My name is Sarah Davis, and I got into my dream home with Save with Conrad.
And unlike the dirt sheets, we're not making this up. Check out all the 5-star reviews. Go to savewithconrad.com and do it today. You'll be grateful you did.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
Tom Talker 2000 said, there was or has been a problem with some of the Japanese promotions. Okay, so this is a response to us talking about they're asking fans not to approach wrestlers. It said it was around 6 months or so ago. I happened upon an article since I'm a very heavy pro-wrestling fan. They talked about fans harassing some of the Japanese talent, i.e. getting their personal phone numbers, stalking some of them, etc. And so NJPW putting out this notice isn't a shocker to me. Yeah, but that's against the law. You know, stalking or making harassing phone calls.
If you have somebody's private phone number, are you going to sit in your house and call them? Or are you going to be behind the dojo calling them?
The dojo.
What the fuck? I heard it was Sasha Banks related.
And it was you standing peering through the
over the top of the whatever those things are called.
Silver Bullet 9442. Kev is so good at these Florida or Jersey ones that I think Sean needs to stop leaking the headlines.
I read this. It's like, who's leaking me anything? We don't even. Steve and Dom right now don't know what the fucking what the deal is.
They suggest maybe giving everyone a fake headlines to find the rat. It's just skills, brother. It's Silver Bullet 9442. These are just skills, man. No leaking happening.
It's called being 64 years old and being around a while.
Taz Mission Plex loved the Fell Dog Corey Feldman segment today. The live performance he did was incredible. He's in his own world. I think everyone agrees with you. Don't forget about Kliq This TV, guys. Sign up for KliqThisTV.com. Nash and Friends is just one of the many things you get. You get to participate in these shows, like the live audience we have watching here. You'll see they'll be asking questions later. They get to share their thoughts and sometimes interact during the show. And Nash and Friends, where we have someone come on and sit with us and all of the subscribers who have unfettered access to them.
When are we going to get Corey Feldman to come on Nash and Friends?
That would be interesting, especially given the commentary that we launched last week during.
We put him over.
I might have said that he's in his own friggin' world. I don't know how putting it. That's a compliment.
I think I'd love to hear him just sing a little "The Girl Is Mine."
A little MJ. Steve, is there a clip we can show anyone of the fun on?
Somebody sent me one DM'd me one the other day. Some new
a Corey video.
New Corey, yeah.
Okay, maybe that'll be the segment. Maybe it's just Corey every week, and we just
that's what you
score
like.
Each one.
You actually said like you wanted me to tap. It was just like.
I know. I thought it would have been like instantaneous.
No way, man.
No.
It's like But like you said, you didn't realize that Tyrus and I have been going back and forth this for at least 2 years.
Are you and Tyrus big Joe Piscopo fans by any chance?
I don't think anybody's not a Joe Piscopo fan.
All right, well, maybe we're in trouble again this week for the tap out. We'll see what happens. We went 3-0. I'll tell you what happened. We went 3-0 on our football picks. Every week we're doing the Draftkings King of the Mountain contest against.
Yeah, we jerked off on a fucking ESPN fucking thing wherever the biggest load landed. We picked
me, you, and Dom hit 3 games that happened to win.
Oh,
and
looks like we got the fucking Giants.
But this puts us firmly in second place. Am I right in saying this? Where's the graphic? Where's the graphic I saw?
Yeah, 17. We got 16, but we got two pushes.
We have 2 freaking pushes, which is a pain.
Push in the bush.
But it's keeping us in the game. Bring that up when you get a second. I want to see who's above us again. Is it Jeff?
Yeah, I think it's Jeff.
All right.
Either Jeff or Foley.
There it is.
No,
it's Foley. It is
Foley.
Foley. Okay, 17-13. We're 16-12-2. And yeah, we're pulling away this week. I'm gonna go on the record and say this is the week we pull away. Our picks for this week, if anyone's playing along at home, are I have to open my phone again. Huh?
Lions.
I know we have the Lions giving 3.
Jacksonville.
Yes, Jacksonville getting 3. From San Francisco.
The Ravens.
The Ravens giving
6.
If they can't win by a touchdown, for God's sake.
Ravens
yes,
are fucking a beast, man.
We go on. Let me tell you what I'm excited about, Kev. Excited about getting tickets to live events. We're talking about NXT. We're talking about NWA. And you know what? Maybe for an upcoming NWA show, you can use GameTime. GameTime.co, GameTime.co, or the app. The app is the easiest thing. Put it on your phone. And you can snag some tickets using this. I will confess that I used GameTime for Back to the Future, the musical, on Broadway this past week. Wanted to grab some tickets. It was the day before. And I went on the app. And so
the show.
You know, I got to tell you, the effects, the special effects with how they did all of it, the car, it saved the show, and the performances. Everyone was very good. I don't know that film needed a musical. None of the music was memorable. It wasn't bad. It wasn't anything anyone was going to be singing as they walked out, other than the 2 Huey Lewis songs, which Power of Love and Back in Time, which are in the show. But any of the original music I didn't find.
I rest my case. Huey Lewis, best frontman ever.
I don't know where you are with that. Did we talk about that once before? Clearly, because it could have been 10 minutes ago and I wouldn't remember it.
Yes, we talked about it.
Well, if Huey Lewis decides to get out there on the road again, guys, GameTime is the way I want you to go see him. Download the app. This thing is tremendous. It's got a map of the arena or the stadium or the theater, and the seats have, and there it is, the Back to the Future. Their image is the Old School of Rock, because that just closed at the Winter Garden Theater there, but it is Back to the Future now. So you click the seats you want. And it shows you the dollar amount, and wow, you can't beat that one. That's unbelievable. Orchestra seats, $100 each. Wow.
What's the first? I want to see. Yeah, that
first, right there, mezzanine.
Yeah,
mezzanine was $292. First row is $442. But good God, that's it. That 100 is even closer than where I sat. I think I'd have to count the rows back. But anyway, I do it. The team here does it. And you guys can do it too. Doesn't matter if it's sports, theater, comedy, music, concerts. You guys download the GameTime app. We're going to help you out here. We're going to take the guesswork out of buying tickets, and we're going to do it by giving you $20 off your first purchase if you use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, go create an account and redeem code KLIQ for your $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. They're great for that. They're last ticket specialists. I mean, morning of. I got Springsteen tickets here in Jersey, morning of. So, guys, go check this out. Download the app and tell them we sent you by using KLIQ. I implore all of our fans to please continue using our codes so you let our wonderful advertisers know who sent you.
My wife used that for Bocelli.
Excellent. Where was the venue?
Amway.
That's the one in Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay.
Magic play there.
Well, that's right. Yeah. It looks like you're going to drive through it when you're on I-4. Another thing that popped up this week was the War Games match came back into the public zeitgeist.
I like the advertising with kind of a Cody Rhodes coming out of the swamp with the camouflage on. Have you seen
I
that?
didn't see it. No, I didn't see that particular poster.
I saw that.
Who used to do those when you did? There was a whole art department there that handled that when you were there, I assume. Did all the posters? You didn't know. You just collected the checks. So the War Games match is returning at Survivor Series this month at the end of the month, and there it is. Okay, excellent. So it got me thinking about classic War Games matches. And I think the first one, I'll have to research this. I looked to see which ones you were in. And you were in 4. You won 3, which isn't bad. The one I asked you about this afternoon, the Russo's Revenge one. This was great. I said, Kev, I thought this was just going to be like a 2-second throwaway thing. I said, Kev, I'm going to bring up the Russo's Revenge War Games. Silence on the other line. I thought maybe you hit the mute button. I said, yeah, Kev, the one where they stacked the 3 cages. It's like, don't think I was in it. I said, hold on a minute. I was on YouTube today. Am I losing my fucking mind? So I go on. I said, Kev, he defended the title successfully. I thought he won the title. So I said, Kev, you won the title in this. It's like, okay. So, but this was a noteworthy one. It was like the Tower. What the hell did they call that? The Sullivan thing, the Tower of Doom or whatever, combined with
Chamber of Horrors, whatever the fuck it was.
Combined with War Games. Thought it was dope. Had all these questions about working 3 cages and all this shit, but
still, I mean, right now he's absolutely blank.
Well, do you remember the one with the wide cage at least? Here's some footage of it. See the ladders to the top levels there, rolling around.
Maybe because my big ass never got anywhere further than the floor.
Didn't even get into the ring.
I mean,
the outside.
I mean, I might have gotten the ring, but I don't see me going up on a ladder and I mean, obviously I was in it because there's a picture of me there, but
yeah, you kind of won also. But so this but do you remember any of the ones that used the double?
Yeah.
The wide one?
You used to always have it in Winston-Salem. Oh, see, there's no way. See, that's outside I don't do any of that stupid shit.
Well, someone find me footage of how high Kevin got in that cage. I just looked at it to confirm he was
high
there.
I was guarantee I was higher before I walked in than I was the rest of the fucking night. I can guarantee that.
Were cage match nights any different? Were they a night off because you knew how to use the cage from a difficulty standpoint? Was it?
You're almost into fucking. You're selling as you're going over it.
Yeah, but I mean, is it easier in a way because?
Yeah, because you go into fucking that's. As soon as your body hits that cage, boy, it shit gets slow. And
what about the double ring? when they would do the 2 rings both encased by the
Yeah.
doesn't change the strategy at
I
all,
remember
right?
when Sid picked up
Oh,
Pillman
God.
and
It was
power bombed
horrendous.
him and took him into the fucking cage.
Hard to watch that one.
Yeah.
But he
That was,
yeah,
I
for
think,
you guys putting that that cover on the cage is a bit of an issue if you guys want to do anything aerial. Maybe you didn't, but like a Bam Bam who was going to
that wasn't the thing was always because it was kind of like a Royal Rumble thing where people ran down. So you were always in,
Right. With the booking for something, I remember even in the kayfabe shows, I would ask these guys that were in Royal Rumbles and stuff, and I guess this would be the same shit. How much is booked beforehand, as far as like when you were involving 10 people, or in a Royal Rumble 30 people, or the order, what has to happen angle-wise between 2 individuals that has to...
There's a lot of shit going on in those
Yes.
things.
So would Pat or whoever it was, would each guy kind of have...
No, I remember like the one in Providence where I threw out all the people. You walked in and there was a fucking like a blackboard. They just said, would show when you came in and who was in the ring, and then they would have next to your name who you would come in and eliminate. And for me, it was
Oh.
everybody.
So all that shit's worked out in advance. A house show battle royal, not so much, right? It's just...
I remember when I came back and Reigns was going to go over, and the agent, I won't bury him, but he was I would say never above fucking mid card guy that was laid this fucking thing out, and I'm like going like, and Roman's like spearing guys, which is basically like this guy's laying it out, and I'm watching it in my mind going, he has to have a runway to do this, and you're basically like cutting this
confining
fucking,
the...
yeah,
it's
like
a big guy,
yeah, and it's like, so it wasn't my turn to go out, but I had thrown some. I was on the side like where there was nobody, and if I walked across, I would have gotten Roman's way. So I made eye contact with Roman, and I gave him the Iggy, like, I'm coming. I'm gonna eliminate because I was just gonna come with the clothesline. He was gonna duck and pull the rope. Well, fucking, I give him the Iggy. Here I come, and he fucking just does this, and it gets all fucked up. And then when he does dump me, because now I'm trying to get myself out, I get my fucking arm caught in the fucking top rope. I thought I tore my bicep, and I'm thinking to myself like, that's it. Fuck this shit. Like, it's one of those things like when it was being laid out, I wanted to say, but I was just back for the night, and I didn't want to be the guy going, wait a fucking minute, this fucking sucks. This is horrible. But
So the agent is laying this out for you,
yeah, and it's fucking brutal.
and already just listening to it,
Yeah, it's
that
brutal.
gonna suck. All right.
Yeah, it's just, and I'm thinking, and on top of that, the guy's this big that's laying it out.
Well, you don't have to be big to have great ideas.
But you have to
Sullivan's
fucking
short.
You have to manage fucking a 20 by 20. There's only so many square feet in that ring, and if one of them's a 7-foot guy and it's like
House shows didn't get booking for a battle royal, right? It would be what for who's winning, who's left in the end, and then everybody
Unless
just powders.
they did that,
whenever.
a lot of times they do that horrible one where it'd be like 14 guys and a fucking in a battle royal to start the night. And the first guy would go out, he'd fight the next guy. And they did that way. And then when it got down to two guys, they wouldn't go any further. And that would be the main event for the night.
Right, yeah. To set up the
And that was an old WCW fucking spot show, fucking formula. My first run there back in 1993.
Where'd you stand on battle royals? Is it something that you
fucking
hate?
Brutal?
Right. Would you do the grab somebody going to the corner deal, or what would you do?
I
armbar.
Immediately went to the corner, put my back to it.
Doesn't everybody try to get there?
Fuck yeah. It was like they had the main event last night, and then they had a schmoz afterwards. And I'll give Kevin Dunn so much fucking credit because sometimes he'll pull, and I'll be like, God, you pull out of everything. So but he'll also there was so much soon to be garbage shit, punches and kicks that he just kept getting out of.
So he's cutting away.
He's cutting away before but I'm always the guy watching TV that's looking beyond where his sight is to see the guy in the background fucking up somewhere.
Who they won't even put a close up of.
No, I'm looking for that. I'm just looking for for something that's just fucking rotten. But yeah, it was I didn't like the fucking Seth freaking Rollins character for quite a while, and then I just realized in the last maybe 2 months that he's kind of like the modern day Macho.
In what way?
Just he has that kind of the glasses and he just got kind of a Macho Man vibe. Like if you were to modernize Macho Man, it'd be kind of Seth.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Plus, he can work his fucking ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really fucking good.
Yeah.
They showed some highlights of the match from the Crown Jewel, and they had some pretty. Even in the match last that he had on Raw, they had some. He wrestled Sammy, and they had some just false finishes that were just you thought it was it, and they one was just Sammy didn't when he hooked him and kind of gave him a power bomb, but Rollins had his right arm was loose, and instead of the big kick, he was just able just to kind of roll out. It just I just thought it was a good piece of little good piece of business there.
Do you? I know you try to grab Raw every week. Do you grab AEW every week too? Does your DVR is it set for Raw and AEW?
It is, but okay, last night if I was to put on AEW and my wife wanted to watch we both want to watch the debate because I can't believe. I mean, it's the most. It's so. It's so historic to sit and watch these five people battling out and it's basically we're going to have 2 hours of programming. We're going to have a 2-hour debate, and this is if Donald Trump has a heart attack. I mean, these people are 50. Some of them are fucking 56 points behind the man. I mean, it's just like.
Well, this is a showcase for them for 4 years from. Well,
I think it's what it really is a
now.
showcase for is how you can just completely fucking change your position on abortion from week to week.
Depending on what's happening in Ohio.
Oh,
or
jeez.
At the polls elsewhere, yeah.
I mean, and the thing is that it's like, it's such a loser. The pro-life fucking standpoint that the Republicans have taken is such a loser that I turned on Fox last night and they were bashing it. I mean,
well, didn't Chris Christie, wasn't his quote about focusing on if you want to be pro-life, focus on he brought up the opioid.
That's the whole thing with like George, whatever that famous piece that George Carlin does. He says, as long as the child's in the womb, the government wants. As soon as that child's born, they want nothing to do with it.
Right,
and that's the truth.
True. There was yesterday was 2 days ago was election day, and there were 4 counties: Fulton County in Georgia, King County, Spokane, Pierce County, and Skagit. Did I say that right? In Washington, who had envelopes mailed with fentanyl, according to the AP News story here. So they said there was no message, there was nothing political written in it. It was just I'll get the exact
It
quote
just
here.
said "die gas pumper."
4 of the letters contained fentanyl. The FBI and U.S. Postal Inspection Service reported in a statement.
He hates these cans.
But I brought up those counties as they were saying that there's been
Fulton would be
political in it.
Fulton is where the Trump case is going on.
Fulton in Georgia. Atlanta is in Fulton. So 73% blue last election using data. 73% blue, 26% red in Fulton. Let's go to King County, as nobody knows who was responsible for this or where maybe they should start looking. King County, 75% blue, 22%
That's
red.
Seattle, right?
They were the second recipient of it, yeah. Skagit, 52% blue, 44% red. Spokane, 46% blue, 50% red. Close, but that's a red county. Pierce, 54 blue, 43 red. Now, even if I didn't read that data and you had any doubt that somebody working for or somebody aligned with the extreme right was responsible, no Democrat would waste all that fentanyl.
Not when they could sell it to NWA.
Exactly. James Mitchell probably would have bought the whole fucking 4 envelopes.
That's got to be a couple of plastic spoonfuls.
It is time for the tap out, Kevin, once again. Now, for anyone that watched last week, it was the Corey Feldman, but believe it or not, that original song by Corey Feldman got a copyright warning on our YouTube. So Steve had to play with it a little bit there if the distortion was, but we did put a link where you can watch the full and enjoy the full madness of it in the.
I knew. See, you guys just don't sometimes see the genius.
The genius.
You just don't. I was like when I was making the reference to he hates these cans / die gas Die Gas Pumper. That was all from The Jerk.
The Jerk. Classic when Steve Martin is the gas station attendant.
Which could not be shown in a theater today.
There's a lot that couldn't be. It's very funny, and you mentioned I mentioned Back to the Future, the musical, before. Now, if you remember the film, the Doc Brown character, the Christopher Lloyd character, part of the storyline there is he stole the plutonium that he uses for the car from the Libyans, from Libyan terrorists, and they're coming to get him. And he's actually shot in the present. Then Marty goes back, and when he comes back, he wrote him the letter.
Can you believe I've seen none of those?
You really haven't? Well, you have to see the first one because it's very well written. The timeline and what they do with time and stuff. It's very clever, very well done.
I've seen bits and pieces of.
Don't bother rather with 2 or 3, but one you have to see.
I'm sure that at this point in my life, I can probably do without.
But so yeah, the Libyan terrorist angle is not in the musical, as because my wife turns to me, she goes, "That's different." I said, "You can't offend a Libyan in the crowd today. What would happen? The hashtag campaign would begin if you ever alluded to Libya having terrorists in the 80s when Muammar Gaddafi was blowing everything up." Anyway, it's time for the tap out. Kevin, you're going to be treated, the world is going to be treated today by an original song. Whew, boy, the douche chill factor is high on this one. Joe Piscopo, if you remember.
No, Pesci.
No, Piscopo.
Oh, okay.
Joe Piscopo.
He did like kind of the Frank Sinatra thing.
Yeah, well, he was on
is
SNL
that where we're
for
going?
a minute. Where we're going.
I thought you asked me earlier if I liked Joe Pesci.
I said Piscopo.
I thought you said Pesci.
Boy, this is a battle of two men's minds deteriorating on camera. You can look back. I hope I said Piscopo. I meant
no.
Piscopo.
He did. He said Pesci. Like everybody likes Pesci. Who? I wouldn't say everybody likes Joe Piscopo.
I was a little shocked by that you and Tyrus would sit around putting over Piscopo.
No, that was Corey Feldman that we put over.
Piscopo leaves his wife some point in the 80s, right? And he's one of the long string of Hollywood elite that hook up with the nanny, with the 18-year-old nanny. So here's Piscopo on live TV singing his original song to the babysitter as she watches lovingly in the wings. We're going to see how long it takes Kevin to tap out. Please.
Tap.
You know, I wondered why Joe never ages. He's in that thing the whole time. Okay, I asked this audience is mostly from New Jersey, and again, I know we broadcast to most of the audience is actually in New York, but I was going to do something for you tonight, and I'm going to ask you to stay with me. I wrote a song for Kimberly Driscoll, my fiance, right? And I got to tell you, I would never do this on, like, if it was like, like a national HBO special or something like that. So I'm going to ask you, it's a straight song, there's no jokes. I know my mother likes it when I sing. So are you with me on this? Can we do a song for you, like a song? Stay with me.
He's playing it like it's casual, and he blesses
I'm
himself.
hesitant
He's
to
so
do it,
serious
but
about
I feel at
this.
home among family and friends, so this is for Kimberly, and we're going to rock it with Ira and the guys. Stay with me, guys. You set on this?
He's
Here we go.
so serious. That young Tang just has his mind.
Little Huey and the Lewis up there.
He's no Huey Lewis. I know Huey Lewis, and you, Joe Piscopo, are no Huey
I burn
Lewis.
inside for you every day. I don't know what to do, don't know what to say. You know I need you, girl, desperately.
There's no cliches.
Kimberly.
We're gonna get a fucking cease and desist from John Waite on this.
All wrong. We know it's all right. Our love is so strong. We just begun to fight. I don't understand.
Oh, this is the reveal, huh?
I don't understand what your daddy don't see was that lyric. I know what her fucking father saw. I got a kid who's 18.
Kimberly.
There's evil forces working here, girl. They're trying to
Kept
pull
tapping.
us apart.
All right, evil forces here trying to pull us apart was too much for Kev.
No, it's just the fact that he was actually on the cover of Muscle and Fitness.
Really?
Yes.
Is he jacked like that?
He was. He kind of had like a little bit of a fucking. I mean, look at that fucking growth hormone fucking side profile. Motherfucker looks
a little ape-like, a little primal
very,
there.
Very, very fucking Dr. Cornelius from fucking Planet of the Apes.
Oh, good God. All right, so, Kev, you got through 2 hours and 2 hours. It felt like 2 hours. 2 minutes and 8 seconds, which I think...
It's a world record?
It's definitely a world record, but I think that Corey still has the lead. He was a minute and something, right, Steve? You have to keep the stats on this. I feel like the chat room was begging Kevin to tap, by the way, for the live audience.
Oh, it's like anything else. So it's if it's painful for me, there's no way I'm gonna let anybody else not. Fuck that.
Kevin's the guy that will do it just to watch you squirm. Let it roll.
There's nothing better than ribbing yourself to rib everybody else.
At what point, like it just I went in like a turtle's head. I had actual retraction of my schmeckle there. Oh my God, it was so hard to watch. Everyone who was listening, please, it's worth it to grab us on YouTube to at least see, provided that's not copyright stricken. I can't imagine. But you never know. Corey made sure that nobody could pirate that song last week. Florida Man or Jersey?
Wesley said he looked like Benoit.
He did have the do.
Yeah,
he did have the Benoit hair.
That really kind of. I don't even know if that's a mullet. That's just kind of a hair helmet.
You didn't see it at the end of the song. He Germans the bitch right onto the keyboard. Yeah. Just fucking threw her. Yeah, there it is, a little Benoit right there. All right, it's time for Jersey Guy or Florida Man here. 2 actual headlines. I did not leak these. There was no leak.
Maybe I should get this wrong on purpose, just so we're like Tyson. We have to fucking do a job for Buster Douglas so we can get a fucking bet.
That's true. You got to get the audience to believe again. All right, 2 headlines. Totally random order. Here they go. First one, driver used license plate flipping device to avoid tolls. And man tried to circumcise 2-year-old cousin while babysitting. The Piscopo goes right into a babysitting one here. I thought there was some brilliance in there.
See, this is I don't know. I don't know how.
Driver used license plate flipping device to avoid tolls, or man tried to circumcise 2-year-old cousin while babysitting.
I'm gonna go with Florida flipping and Jersey man circumcising.
It's opposite. The flipping device was used on the George Washington Bridge by a Jersey guy. Let's click in and see him. And yes, so
that comes
Adam Jimenez.
that comes into Elizabeth, right?
No, you're thinking of the Goethals Bridge. The GWB is in Fort Lee. That's the one that Chris Christie's office said was going to have a little bit of traffic.
That's the one on 95, right?
Yeah, that connects 95 into New York and Connecticut. Adam Jimenez, charged with theft of service, tampering with public records, possession of burglar's tools, possession of a fraudulent document, according to Port Authority. It would flip down like that. We're seeing video here. So that he wouldn't have to, so it wouldn't identify his plate and he wouldn't have to pay the toll. And then this charming individual here from Holly Hill, Florida.
That's right. That's fucking, I drove right by. I drive through there to get to my gym.
Well, if you might have heard the screams of toddlers because there is Timotheus Powell arrested, charged with aggravated.
Oh yeah, the bicuspid fucking circumcision.
Like the old rabbis used to do. Arrested and charged with
Hot
aggravated
pulley.
child abuse that unfolded in Daytona Beach on October 17th. I guess the incident took place in Daytona. He was...
I was trying to switch the heat.
Exactly. Always defending your city.
I didn't want to...
Powell was watching his 2-year-old cousin while the toddler's mother was at work. The grandmother and grandfather were at home at the time of the incident, but both asleep upstairs. They'd just come back from Tamara's orthopedist. They were exhausted. At around 7 p.m., Powell called the mother to tell her that the boy's bleeding from the penis area, and glass had entered his diaper. Good God. I don't know what the sentence is for this guy, but...
Is glass his buddy?
What's that?
Whose glass is buddy? Ed Glass entered his diaper.
George Glass, right? George Glass from the... Yeah, good God. God help him. The skin was glued. It reported the incident to the police because they feared abuse. Oh, my goodness Christ.
No, you should bite somebody's circumcision off. What's the chance of the fucking guy having the 2-year-old's cock in his mouth? That fucking guy should have been shot in the back of the head there.
Oh, my God. There's no sentence long enough for this cocksucker. Anyway. So that's Florida for you. That's Florida. Kevin, it is with some fanfare that I'd like to announce we have a new sponsor this week on our show, a real one. I'm not gonna do a Lauren Boebert commercial. Guys, stop sending money to big insurance companies that profit off of not paying your bills. Did you know that 48 million claims on Obamacare last year were denied? That's 1/5 of the claims that are going to get rejected. Do you want to take that chance? Health insurance sucks. It's confusing, expensive, and frustrating. Well, welcome to 2023. There's a better way. Welcome to the alternative. Crowd Health, Kevin. Crowd Health was created to get rid of the headaches of health insurance. For $175 for an individual or $575 for a family of 4 or more, you'll get access to a community of people who are willing to help out in the event of an emergency. You'll also get telemedicine visits, discounted prescriptions, and more. All this without doctors' networks getting in the way. Let Crowd Health help you with your health care needs. You can get started today for just $99 per month for the first 3 months if you use the code WRESTLE, WRESTLE, to get the health care you deserve. Crowd Health is not insurance. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com. And use the code WRESTLE to get started today for just $99 a month for the first 3 months. Crowdsourcing does it all, man. Crowdsourcing, always delivering the answers for today's problems. Go check them out. Thank you, Crowd Health, for coming aboard. A lot of CW news. First, it was WWE, right? Signing for the NXT slot, which is coming up. When does it start? I don't know when it expires on the other network there, but and then we hear NWA, right, which is Billy Corgan. We hear that they're getting something. Then we hear maybe it's just streaming. If this has changed, I apologize. October 2024 is the date, by the way, the start date. So then we hear maybe it's just streaming for NWA. CW saying that they want to increase their unscripted programming, sports programming specifically. But then there's this shot, I'm sure we have a picture of it, from the NWA show where James Mitchell, as part of an angle, let's just say, get this out there, lest anyone think that James Mitchell is leading an unhealthy lifestyle. His segment, he's seated in a private area surrounded by scantily clad women drinking bottles of suggested alcohol. And
I think it's always nice to have
the plastic spoon.
I just think the plastic spoon
I
is.
thought the same thing.
I mean, I'm thinking like fucking like you couldn't give him a bullet, like something.
Something, the pinky, like the nail,
Yeah.
something a little more exotic. So here's video of it if anyone needed to go completely in your face and doing lines off the table very realistically, whoever that was, who then
That was. Anybody knows that if the guy would have done the gagger off the table, he would have took his finger and picked up what was left and did the around the gums with
the gums. Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it like they do it in the movies, is this the only? They don't have a guy. They need a luchador on that fucking. They need a white
on the
luchador.
announce team.
That's what they're missing.
So now, does something like this put their broadcast chances on the CW in jeopardy, or has this relegated them? Does this make the decision?
The fact
easier
that you decided to put that girl in the that's all the way to the right
in the black
in the shot,
scantily clad woman,
in the shot at all. I mean, it's like, ugh.
I think you could use a tan. Maybe is that what you're going for? Maybe
I was thinking maybe a fucking salad, but
okay. So I'm gonna ask you, because you were in the spotlight when some risque things were airing on the big two, in the Attitude Era, and at the time, that kind of controversy, or I don't think there was as much out of bounds then, maybe as there is now.
I don't think there would. I don't remember there ever being a reference to cocaine.
I have to think. To drug. Well, they did the thing with Hawk, with the alcohol, which was kind of playing on a weakness that Mike did have.
You couldn't have done more than they did with Last Call Scott Hall with the alcohol.
Right.
Scott threw up on Eric.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe the coke, because it's illegal, is somehow more over the line.
You're gonna tell me fucking Scarface, if it was fucking booze, would be the same film?
No. But I'm saying if they have a show.
Don't get drunk on the liquor store supply.
But they. But they can't show, like, if this, everyone knows this is a work now, right? We're not at the point where anyone's taking this as sports. This is programming. This is, we call it unscripted, but it's somewhat scripted, right? Is there not a show on the CW anywhere that features drugs? Before the cops kick the door down, there's some coke all over the place, and I just can't keep track of what's taboo anymore.
I don't even know what the fuck CW has on it.
It's one of those networks that does. It's like WB, CW.
Didn't they have like fucking
hijack a local channel and
back
put on
in the old? Yeah, it was like 90210 fucking reruns or some shit. You know,
right?
Like,
right.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. So here's what's on tonight, if you'd like to see. Pennant. Let's see. Tonight, son of a critch. Okay. Run the Burbs is on at 8:30. Children Ruin Everything. True as that may be, I don't know what it is. Everyone Else Burns. All right, so I don't know any programming that's on this currently. But I'm out of touch, and I forget.
See what they got Saturday. Let's see what
Penn and Teller on Friday.
See what they're coming on Saturday. Okay, Saturday.
ACC College Sports. So it looks like they'll have some
good old
football.
Wake Forest. They're in the run.
And if you missed Men in Black 20 years ago, it's on at 8 o'clock on the CW. You can grab that.
Wow. They're so shitty that fucking even like Comfort Inn won't carry them as a fucking network.
Right, they'll have the porn channel. But Inside the NFL on Tuesday.
Yeah, but
I want reruns of Nick Bonaconte, though.
It's from 68.
Nick Bonaconti and who was his co-host? Len Dawson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Len Dawson and Nick Bonaconti.
No, here's some shit down here. Fucking Grim Party of 5. Good God.
Is that on this channel, or is this just trending around the world? Well, I guess they'd have to. I guess if it's on their website, right, it would have to.
Yeah, it had to be. This is some of their. This is their stellar programming.
Right. Well, anyway, NXT will be there next year.
Party of 5 all got their ARP card already.
Correct. I had someone point out, and I felt a little better about myself, that you don't need to be 50 to get the ARP card. Someone posted, I'm like 35.
No,
I have
they
one.
Said, no, but they were like Canadian or something. It wasn't like it was like the equivalent to the. I think they were wrong.
Oh, okay. That's the Canadian version. You can be 35.
Yeah, I mean it's retirement. Who the fuck gets something at 35?
I don't know.
Maybe they fucking got it. Maybe their spouse is in their 50s, and they signed up for something together, and they both got it. But try to sit your ass down at a fucking IHOP and get the
special at 35.
Yeah, the 55 fucking gimmick. That ain't happening.
So the apparently the higher ups at the CW are pushing to not use the television airwaves for NWA. I think this was even before the cocaine thing, though. I think this just added some ammunition to the argument against them airing on the network. Corgan said that he was told the network would not be watching pay-per-views and would only be concerned with what happened on the TV show airing on their platform. Quoting this from House of Wrestling. That changed following the cocaine spot, as the CW, which fans knew would be the new home for NWA, was flooded with social media comments. House of Wrestling was told there's now a 90% chance that the NWA reality show will air on the CW app and Power. I'm sorry, this reality show and Power will air on the app. I was confused about the financial structure of this too. I have to find where this said that they're paying, they being NWA.
Didn't Steve pull up a thing that said that they were paying like $2 million to film Arrow?
Yeah, I got that text.
Was it a budget like for $2 million?
Yeah, and so how are they just using this to derive, like the old wrestling tactic, to derive an increase in live sales? Like, because they're paying for production. CW's getting the ad revenue. I want to find the exact quote, but this is the structure that I read. They're really counting on that significant a boost. This is from Deadline. Maybe this is where I read it. That they'd be paying for production, they being NWA, of these shows. They'd be aired by CW, who would be collecting the ad revenue entirely. So it just sounds like this is an investment by NWA, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, to drive pay-per-views and live sales. Kind of like
I wonder what it cost the WWE to film NXT to produce that show per show. I wonder what they're budgeted.
Well, you have to consider that everybody's on payroll, right? So it's not extra for crew. I mean,
right.
They're crew, so they're working anyway. They're not renting the house. It's not having to go by the garden and hang the banners there. So they have the house. They have the talent already. They have the crew. Catering? We paying for some catering, maybe? I mean, it's got to be incredible. It's got to be incredibly cost effective.
I mean, you still have to if like the majority of the talent that they use is NXT talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you would have to pardon that And if they're not on the main roster, they're just doing, then,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to
I'm
find
curious.
out.
I would like to know that number.
That is a good question. Will you be watching?
Maybe when I look up your notes on Florida Man, I'll find it.
The leak, yes.
Yeah, the leak.
The
leak on the Schnavitz.
Fernham
Burnham.
with the goddamn shout out. Oh boy! All right.
What kind of a diet are you on?
I'm waiting for my needles for my stomach diet. I have to. So yesterday I had sweet green. Do you have sweet green down there? It's a salad. It's a make your own salad place, or they have different.
Okay, there's your problem right there. You're not eating protein.
Hold on. I had chicken. With a hot honey mustard on it with quinoa. I forewent the green. I didn't put any greens on it. I loaded it with quinoa, the chicken, a cabbage coleslaw, which was very healthy, obviously, because it didn't taste like coleslaw, and some, was it squash maybe? Some little sauteed squash on the side there. That was lunch. And honestly, I ate it.
What was breakfast?
Breakfast was an egg white, omelet, folded omelet with a piece of cheese, with pepper, and a coffee and orange juice. I love oranges. My wife says to me today, "You're not supposed to drink your fruit." This is bad now? Sugar, I guess? Something? Always something.
No, you don't. You just don't get any fiber if you. My wife juices everything.
Okay, so see, she's in fine shape. I'm gonna continue to drink my juice. This is a fine time to remind everyone. Oh, you've stumbled in on me and Kevin talking about my diet. Yes, this is a fine time to remind everyone that HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Okay, you get farm, fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Okay, makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, and that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. The holiday season can be hectic. It's upon us already. Walk by any store, you'll see that. I decorated the bedroom for Christmas. I can't do the living room yet because we have everyone over for Thanksgiving. We host, but we decorated the bedroom. We decided this year. So, tree in the goddamn bedroom and down in the living room. So, the holidays are upon us. What does that mean? It means time. Time is ticking. Time is slipping away from your days. You're shopping. You're taking the kids places. You're taking your goddamn dog to get a picture with Santa at the mall. And these quick fixes are going to help you get a wholesome meal on the table, honestly, in less time than it takes to order delivery. Just like always, HelloFresh's ingredients travel from the farm to your door, so you know they're fresh. And everything arrives pre-portioned, so you can get right to the cooking quick. In case you missed it, HelloFresh is so much more than delicious dinners. HelloFresh can help take the hassle out of every mealtime occasion with easy breakfasts, quick lunches, and snacks, all delivered along with your weekly box. Okay, me personally, what do I love about it? I find new stuff. I could do some basic cooking, but I would not have sought out saffron, for example. And a HelloFresh meal I made 3 weeks ago, I was using saffron in it. So I love that it gives me the stuff. It tells me how to use it. Makes me a smarter cook and a better eater. So you're going to go to HelloFresh.com/clickfree. Okay? That's hello.com/clickfree, KLIQFREE, and use code ClickFree for free breakfast for life. Can I repeat that, Kevin? Did you hear what I just said, for God's sakes? ClickFree is the code you're going to use, KLIQ free. You get free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/clickfree with code KLIQFREE. It's America's #1 meal kit, and you'll find out why. All right. Thank you to our friends At HelloFresh.
My mother-in-law and my brother-in-law like to make those together.
I was going to say, Tamara's family is a big
Yeah.
mark for that. Yeah. You have a box coming to you, too. I don't know if you saw that email.
I did. Was it today?
The other day we got one there. Just search for, I think Taylor sent it to fill out the form to get yourself another box.
I haven't.
That's what our friends renewed, and that's what happened. So, Jacob, this is Ask Nash, by the way. Hashtag Ask Nash is how you can do this. If you're in the audience here, if you're a member of Kliq This TV, you can go to kliqthisTV.com and make that happen. You can be here also in the audience to ask these live questions. Here's one that we got sent to us from Jacob. It says, "Hey, Kev, I've heard you say in the past that you are part Cherokee. Have you done any research into your family history? How much do you know about your Cherokee ancestors?"
I mean, it's very limited because my mother's an orphan.
Oh. Right.
So.
It was on her side. It was on her side, the Cherokee.
Yeah. My mother is also a McCoy.
Of the
Hatfield.
Hatfields and
Yes.
McCoys? Good God.
So yeah.
Maybe you could do one of those, where they do the celebrities and they trace their lineage back, and surprises and tears unfold always. Uncaged Rage says, "Time to get political again to piss off the select few, of which I'm okay with. Politics is interesting. Ohio has not only passed issue 1, abortions are now legal and protected health care, but we now have marijuana legalized. Exclamation mark. In a red state, too. This is a big step." Like kind of a purple state,
I'm
right?
just hoping we can get, no, they're red. Fucking Trump carried Ohio by fucking 8 points.
It's always been a contentious state, though. It's always been that one.
I'll tell you one thing. This is a fact. Nobody has ever won the presidency without carrying Ohio.
Very interesting.
I think maybe Biden might be the first.
Kev, I got some progress there in Ohio, right? Obviously.
I'm just hoping we can I can get my cannabis over that state line.
Oh, that's right, because your guys are right in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that we had a ton of people coming up from Ohio to our Monroe, Michigan stores. Some of the head shops.
Well, maybe
much to the chagrin of the Ohio State Police, I'm sure.
Correct. Oh, come on! Even those guys know that this has to be over. For God's sake, this stupid puritanical bullshit. You can go to a doctor and get a prescription for heroin, basically.
They're too busy. Yeah, it's like the whole fentanyl thing is, to me, is like just unbelievable. Just listen to the numbers last night.
Opioid deaths.
Oh, 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
70,000 fentanyl deaths.
There's a documentary on, I don't know the streamer, but it's on one of them about the in Florida when the pill.
I just watched it.
Oh, you saw it, yeah.
What's it called? Fuck. It's the dude that plays Captain America.
It's Pain something. Pain Hustlers?
Yeah.
No, that's the scripted one. That's the scripted one.
This is the one with Garcia's the fucking the money guy.
Oh, so you're talking about the scripted one, not the documentary.
I'm talking about this is scripted.
Okay, yeah, no, there's a doc also about how the scripts used to work down there. It was two brothers, I think. The documentary centers around. Someone will pull.
I had a buddy of mine do some serious time, sending down loads of, had 8 or 9 crews of people going down, and I mean, fucking, it was unbelievable what they would, they'd get 80 Percocets and 80 Xanax, or Vicodin, whatever, Perks or Vikes, and they would just go from one place to the next and they were like, there would be 3 of them in a fucking strip mall.
Yeah.
3 pain centers.
Pain management centers.
As long as you had cash, not a problem.
American Pain, perhaps. I just can't remember the name of it. Ada 9586 says, for Kevin and Sean, what was the last great book that you read? Love the podcast. Thank you, Ada. Let me see. I'm rereading or re-listening to Keith Richards' autobiography, Life. I guess I kind of listened to the new Stones record. There I go saying record again. But vinyl's back. My little one wanted a record. My little one got a record player.
To me, it's still it's an album to me. Like when you put music out, I still say they put a new album out.
Mm-hmm.
Because an album just it just is it's what it is.
Right. I think album is acceptable. I think I think I said record. Maybe that's what David.
Yeah, but that's what we grew up with.
Yeah. It was so cool the other day. I got to show my daughter how to put it on, explain what the needle was, that you can't make sure you can't skip it. You got to use the arm to lift it up and drop it on there. She thinks it's so cool that the music is in the plastic somewhere. It is kind of a cool concept. It's
amazing. It's I've gotten rid of all mine, and it's just like, man, there's so many times I just think about just getting a nice turntable, and especially for down here. There's nothing down here.
Yeah, it's just the commitment of space. Because now, remember when you got to get rid of all your old albums, like CDs, streaming, and now the commitment of space again.
Now it's like there's nothing. Like I thought, like the what was the first thing called, the iPod?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a great. I don't want a bunch of fucking shit on my. I don't want my music on my phone.
Okay.
I just don't want.
You want a device for everything. You want a device to call Tamara. You want a device to listen to the music.
I just want
a device to do your banking in your pocket.
No, I just don't want my fucking phone hooked up. I don't want everything Bluetooth and everything going through my. It's like I just don't want it.
Understood.
It's too much. There's too much of my personal fucking information being fucking hammered off this fucking phone as it is.
It's our whole lives are on those things right there. How about a book? You read anything recently that we can give Ada? I'll go with the Keith Richards book, I guess, because I'm in the middle of it again. I did recently finish Todd is God is the last great book that David Van Bogelen read, and he's a much better co-author for Todd than I am, because I just said the Keith Richards book when I should have said Todd is God. Yes, indeed. Thank you, David, for reading or listening.
I haven't read anything worth a shit in so long.
Okay.
I was reading. The last book I actually picked up and started to read was about 10 days ago, and I was in the room, and I went in the closet, and he had some Borkowskis and a couple other, and I actually picked up Fountainhead and started reading that because I had to drop a deuce. I have to have something to read, and I didn't have any magazines or anything, so I grabbed Fountainhead just so I could.
Was he a Bukowski fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I never got to make that connection with him. Yeah. I read Bukowski all through my late 20s and 30s.
Yeah, I think I turned him on to it. And then it was like I was trying to hand pick him, and then he got right into into the grimier version,
into the deep end.
Yeah, way too soon. And I was just like, oh fuck! It's like, oh well.
How about something from the audience? You guys are here for a reason.
But can't you see T reading? I mean, that's
of course.
That's right up his alley.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I would just love to have gotten his take on some of it. God damn it. Never enough fucking time. What do we got here? Brandon Douglas, what are your thoughts on the NBA in-season tournament? Great question. Do you think more teams will take it serious with the money prize for the winners? Who do you think will win it?
God, I mean, with the average salary at about $5 million, does it really fucking matter? I don't know. It's I guess we'll see. I mean, it's just the season's so fucking long.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the Lakers just get hammered by fucking the Rockets. It was just like, oh.
Don't you think, though, that I'm of the opinion that, like, any of these all-star games, any opportunity for an athlete to get hurt outside of their team's contracted season,
But these
I think
are
is
part.
horseshit.
These are part of the 82 games.
Well, for basketball, you're talking
Yeah.
about, yeah. But no, I mean, but there's all-star games in every sport.
Yep.
And the Pro Bowl, in football.
Pro Bowl is flag now.
Is it flag?
Yes.
I'm fine with that. If you want to watch fucking flag football, that's fine. I couldn't watch it, but okay, but I understand. Much, much better. Why take a chance on anyone getting
I
it?
never understood why anybody would fucking finish the NFL season and then go fucking take another couple of fucking hits. I don't know why.
Absolutely. And I don't know why teams hadn't fought against the owners, like the owners organization or whatever, if there's anything formal band of extraordinary gentlemen.
So
the
NHL did a reverse on the tape.
Oh, is there an update?
Yes.
Let's look for this. Okay.
So they've done a.
Yes, it's the first. You type NHL and then it pops up. Okay. Yes, as of October 25th, this is from NPR. NHL lifts its ban on rainbow-colored pride tape after a player defied it. So Travis Dermott of the Arizona Coyotes defied an NHL ban on pride tape when he used the colorful tape on his stick during the home opener. The official statement from the NHL says players will now have the option to voluntarily represent social causes with their stick tape throughout the season. That's all we said.
And
That's all we said. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, and all glad-backed advertisers, we're sorry.
Yeah. Come home, old yeller.
Yeah, go ahead and fuck around. Fuck around, you fucking Canucks. You have no idea what's going on. That's a different animal, man.
What else we have from the audience?
That was kind of that was I'm gonna get heat for calling them Canucks.
Is it a pejorative?
I don't think so.
The team is called the goddamn Canucks. What do we have in the audience here? Mark. Hey, guys, new sub here. Welcome, Mark. This is the zany fun that you're going to have every week, Kevin, any chance on bringing Jackknife to Canada? And any memories of working in Toronto?
Yeah, I got a gun pulled on me. At the government. Let me think. No, I don't think that. I mean, that would be the last situation to be getting any smoke into another country.
You probably have to be manufactured there, right?
I mean, it's not. Why would we take a 30% loss to move our cannabis to Canada?
Right.
Your currencies. I mean, nothing against, Canada, but your currency sucks.
Yeah, and you remember the whole cigarette thing too, which is why they used to have to smuggle them over the border. That whole thing. Dino Bravo was involved in. Speaking of which, if we're talking about Jackknife, I should actually probably throw up the Get Blitzed Lit Aid by our friend Mickey Ray Sinatra.
Nice.
And his people at Get Blitzed. That's right, guys. Nano-infused Delta-9 THC sippin' syrup. Kev likes the, I believe it's the key lime.
The key lime.
In the Sprite Zero. What this is, guys, it's a syrup, okay? It's potent stuff. It's like THC, but like on steroids. It's a syrup. You mix it in any beverage, a tea, a white soda, and with as little as a teaspoon and a fast onset of like 5 to 15 minutes, it goes right into your bloodstream. It bypasses the breakdown in the liver. It works like alcohol. It's a tolerance killer. If you're in Maryland, you can go check out their Stay Lit Smoke Shop. But for the rest of us in this country right now, at this moment, it's legal, guys, to ship it right from Get Blitzed website to all 50 states without a med card.
Somebody contacted us last episode and said that they couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it in what state?
Was it Oklahoma, maybe? Somebody's already...
See, they're trying to close the doors on these guys.
I'm just saying, you guys.
Get in.
And guess what? You don't close the doors on shit that ain't good.
Right.
If it doesn't have, if it doesn't have an effect on you, like they're not worried about it.
This is rock and roll of the medicinal world. Guys, go to get-blitzed.com. Okay, it's get-blitzed.com.
There's sometimes you want to get a buzz on it. You don't want to walk into some place and reek of cannabis. So this here, walk in some place with a fucking little tumbler of
sipping your soda, for God's sakes.
Gin and juice, laid back. Got my mind and my money and my money on my mind.
Guys, we're going to give you 15% off. How about that too? All right. Use the code KLIQ. Kliq at get-blitzed.com. Okay. Go check them out. They're tried and true, but get them before they fall under the vicious fascist thumb of government agencies.
They're safe in Ohio. Go Buckeyes!
Right. That's right.
Go Buckeyes!
Rocky Monroe, is it harder to shoot a weekly wrestling program or be on a movie set? I guess he means the weekly tapings, the Raws or the Superstars.
Oh God, it's much harder to be on a set.
I'd imagine. I've never shot a wrestling show, but the hours alone.
Yeah, hours on a set are
standing around in the cold, maybe. Brutal. Instagram a wrestling historian.
Just trying to rub one off in your trailer without an AD pounding on it.
I always likened the trailer. You probably got the big, beautiful, glorious trailers.
Fucking! You're lucky to get a half banger.
I had just a little. I likened it to a prison cell. Bed.
What are those toilet? What are those things called?
Matchbooks.
No,
matchboxes.
God, I remember they have like a bench in it, and at the end of the bench is the shitter.
There's a little door, a little sliding gimmick, but yeah, basically where your head is, your toilet's right.
Yeah,
there.
It's fucking. God, what are those things called? Honey wagon.
Honey wagon, yeah.
Yeah, you get a honey wagon.
And how many times can you look at the little fucking pamphlet with your 5 lines for that day? I used to hang with the Teamsters. They were the best ones. I guess I was smoking cigarettes at the time, so I'd sit on the steps and hang with them. They always seem to have a lot of time to kill. And Instagram a wrestling historian. What's a storyline you wanted to do as a WCW booker, but it didn't happen for whatever reason? Thanks in advance.
We wanted to do it was I forget what were the characters' names. It was
Lenny and Sika.
No, it was Lenny and Lodi, and they were. They just kind of finished other sentence. And they thought that they were like secretly falling in love with each other. They did not understand why they had this attraction. And then they were going to find out that they had been separated at birth, and they were actually brothers.
Is this something that was pitched?
That was something was my idea. And they fucking, they did not. And I'm thinking, this is very like progressive, like very non-homophobic.
The brothers, they end up being brothers. That's hilarious. How about some from the live audience here? Come on. Guys are waiting around. James Bedford, what do you think was the biggest sports comeback? I'm a LeBron mark. The 2016 finals was wild, coming back from 3-1 to a 73-9 team. Red Sox 2004, Pats down 28-3, all memorable. Comebacks, Kev.
That Pats game, me and my son were just the whole Super Bowl house was anti-Patriots, and every time at the end, they just kept just dogging us. And all of a sudden, man, it'd be like Brady started his shit, and we go, Brady, and we just fucking, man, and when it like people left before the game got finished.
Right, I bet.
We ran people out. It was just like we were fucking, because I'm the sorest of losers. So fucking, especially if it's my house, fuck you. Get the fuck out.
But any glorious memories from childhood? Some heroic.
I mean, to me, that Patriots is huge for a Super Bowl, and then that LeBron coming back with that squad against the team that they beat, that was huge.
Okay. What else we got? Live audience. Next one. Tyler, any early predictions for the CFB tournament seeds?
Gosh. I mean, right now, I think one's Ohio State, two's Georgia.
Let's see.
It's such a shit year for fucking college football. There's just not that team that just.
Well, as evidenced by our performance picking some college football in the.
I mean, I would. Ohio State always seems to fucking fold, and now that they've got legalized marijuana, they're really in trouble now.
Right. Live audience, give me another one. David, aside from like financial buy this stock stuff, what advice would you wish you could give to a 30-year-old Kevin Nash?
You know, you're not doing that bad at this strip joint.
Keep the job.
Your neck will fucking thank you.
When you started making good money in wrestling, were you good with it?
Yeah.
And was it you credit that to your upbringing?
I credit it to my mom. My mom was always pay your bills. I think that's pay your bills first, and then take 10% and save 10% of that, and then you can fucking.
Then you can fuck around.
Then you can fuck around.
All right. Where's Britt? Does she have a question? We cut her off last week. We had to answer it off the air. I do not want to leave her out. She weighed in on having the booty. No Brit tonight. Okay.
So we're not gonna we got to talk a little bit about the end of the world
as we know it.
Yeah, we haven't really touched
on the war.
Wars.
No, the wars. Yeah.
I don't. I read an article the other day that Russia has, like, they've got better, like Russia and China both have better nukes than we do right now.
Better in capacity, or
like Russia has a nuke, and it's called it's whatever the people will, like, maybe the Annihilator or whatever it is, but it's got 10 warheads. When it opens up, it's got 10 warheads, and I want to think that those things are like 400 megaton, like the like they were saying if one of those warheads was to hit, like say Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
then it would kill a couple of million on impact, and then within, you know, several million on radiation
And the
poisoning.
days afterwards, the after effects
Yeah,
of it.
it's
Yeah.
just like, but it's so now that Biden's uh, putting money into a new nuke, and like Russia has like 25, we've got like 23. China only has like 400 or 500 nukes, but their nukes are way, I mean, they're super powerful. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are we having the conversation? Like, does anybody, like, I can't be the oldest guy in the room and actually saw War Games, right? Like, I don't know. But they were talking these talking points, like, when was the last time we've seen a news clip from the Ukraine?
Well, what's happened, and I think we've talked about this in other topics, is the news feed now is vertical, and Gaza has eaten up much of the coverage. Not that it's not being covered, but you've got to commit. You've got to commit to scrolling or flipping pages if you're still buying a newspaper, because the coverage has been supplanted by the new war that everyone's talking about. And I think what's happening, and the reason for that is, it's causing more division on our soil with people, the pro-Palestine and the liberation of Palestine, and then Israel, and it's creating divisions between friends, and so it just seems to have more of a stake, maybe. So it's a better news story.
Yeah, I watched the Republican speaking points last night on the debate, and it just everything is very it's cut and dry, like there's no gray matter, and probability and statistics of you dropping the amount of explosives that they have in Gaza, and you're killing 10,000 Palestinians that are uh, casualties of war, and there's
The
only
citizens you're talking about, not
right,
the
not
Hamas fighters, right?
not Hamas, no. And it's just like, I don't know. And maybe it's just that I can't even pick up my phone because I'm so tired of seeing these beautiful Palestinian children being pulled out of this wreckage, and it's like, what's what caused this? The atrocities that caused this, that they did to the Jewish families,
On October 7th, yeah.
you know, to the 1300. I mean, but that's the whole thing, is like, so they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that they would get this response, and they knew that they would pull Israel into it, because there's nobody that's, if somebody if you walk in the house and somebody's raping one of your daughters or your wife or whatever's going to happen, and you've got a handgun, I don't think you're going to have a peace summit about that. I'm pretty sure you're going to blow their fucking brains out.
I would have a very emotional response.
Right, and I think that these motherfuckers. I mean, there's a reason why they're called terrorists. It's like what's the worst thing you can imagine? Well, fucking something happening to your wife, your child, your grandmother. I mean, just the most. They went after the weak, and I wish. They've got this fucking this system of tunnels, and that you can't just go in those tunnels and fucking blow those up, because that could be where the hostages are.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump made a statement is these fuckers are smart, and he got shit for it. He got shit for it, and it was in poor taste, but it's not like this wasn't fucking thought out.
Mm-hmm.
And we had talked about this maybe 2 weeks before that happened, and we talked about Gaza and how basically that you weren't allowed 300 meters to the fence line.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, these motherfuckers blew holes in it and knew. I mean, they knew it's like you could have had more intel than these fuckers had you fucking put together the security system yourself.
Which surprises me, because Israel is always known for its counterintelligence, and its.
And it looks now like Gaza will probably be occupied, because there's no way, and there's no way that you can look at the Jewish government and think that you can do anything but fucking rule. You've got to rule with an iron fist until you know.
Well, the commitment. I mean, Netanyahu's the commitment. He's gone this far. It's not like they're going to stop.
Well, it's not like Hamas is going to stop when they're basically their charter is until every fucking Jewish human being on this planet is dead.
There's no answer for this, and it's because it's rooted in religion. We talked about it. It's not just a territory; it's what's attached to it. And you've got a holy war, is what you've got. And
but I wish I would have sent you this fucking thing today that I saw, and it's an Arab gentleman, and he's speaking, and he's saying that there's Farsi, there's Arabic, and there's something else.
Mm-hmm.
And that Christ, when Christ spoke one of the three, but the way he would pronounce God would be Allah, but it's a different pronunciation, meaning my God. And what this gentleman was basically saying is that the Jews, the Muslims, they're all basically from the same tribes, or it's like they're all brothers. It's like it's three brothers basically having this war.
Mm.
And it's just like, I mean, I don't know.
It's devastating. It's devastating.
It is.
And there's no end in sight right now. We're a month into this conflict, into this war.
Well, but at the same time, it's just like, so we take our eye off the ball, and we don't send if anybody thinks that Putin's going to stop just because he feels like it, that ain't going to happen. And China is not going to stop. You know, like China's not. They're we need this. Like we're in such a fucking shit storm right now. You've still got fucking 36% of our country that are election denying over something that the AG that fucking worked for the fucking president, the ex-president, is saying like, no, there was. You know what I mean? Like we're so fucked up in so many just bullshit. Like last night, you watch this debate and you watch Scott say, you know, I've been pro-life my entire, and all of a sudden he's jumping on the Lindsey Graham 15-week thing, which before that he was zero. Like, you know, he was like Kentucky. You get 5 weeks and that's it. And all these different people, and then I asked Trump once he sees the numbers come back from Ohio, and Trump says, abortion is not even, he'll just change to whatever he needs it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't fundamentally look at how fucked up that party is right now, and then the counter is, you know, well, the other guy's old. You know, the other guy's old, and the economy sucks. And am I the only one that realizes that it's a global economy?
Our national jobs reports do well. There was, what did we have, another big positive surprise in growth last time. But yeah, any president, I don't care what party, we are all globally interconnected. The funny thing with gas, and we've beaten this dog to death on here, but we get into a war with Russia, and
they produce. We get in a war with Russia, and Trump cuts a deal with the Saudis to stop to cut back their fucking production. And then
gas prices around the world.
Yeah, and then we also go into summer blend. The summer blend of gasoline. There's that higher. It burn. You know, the summer blend is a more expensive blend of gasoline.
Okay.
So now we're, you know, I went to the pump today and it was like fucking from $4.28 to maybe $3.50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, down to $3.50 for premium.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I don't know.
It's a global economy. Everything's interconnected. But you have to. These are easy triggers, right, for a candidate, for somebody touting their political party, but don't want to really dig deep and have a discussion. They just want it to be, you know, put a sticker on the thing of Biden.
Yeah, the economy sucks.
I did this, you know. Yeah.
Economy sucks. I just want to see who if the Donald gets back in. Like I thought Christie yesterday killed it, because I thought Christie said, like, what the fuck's this guy gonna do? Why isn't he here? Why, you know, even DeSantis, should he be explaining what he's going to do to make things better? And he's not there.
And his numbers aren't taking a hit either.
No.
But he's probably doing the best thing for his campaign because he's a borderline moron. So you may not like the politics of the people on the stage last night, but you had some smart people on the stage who would have blistered him with information and reminding him in person that he was the guy that got to sleep in the White House for 4 years.
But there's not one of them that on that stage last night that had the just some moral compass to be able to say, this fucking guy he's bad news. He's got 92 fucking counts against him. And you know what? You can say you can say witch hunt. You can say all this fucking shit you want to. If he doesn't win, he's fucked. And he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And his people know it. So if he doesn't win and you're a Trump supporter and he fucking ends up fucking eating this shit pie that he's built, then now you're an asshole. You got to look in the mirror and you got to say to yourself, I've backed him all this time and I'm a fucking asshole.
They'll just buy the next conspiracy theory. It'll be that the judge is
But he can't. He the only thing that the only way that it doesn't work for him is because once he gets in, he can pardon himself from all this shit.
I don't know how far his self-pardoning would extend, but however, I want to latch onto your point. Those people on the stage last night, the Republican debate, they're going to need, just because of the numbers we're talking about, Trump's voters.
Absolutely.
One way or the other, irrespective of what happens with Trump, they're going to need a great many of those voters
and
to even be relevant.
26% of those people are saying that they're not sure where their vote's going to go.
I wonder how accurate any of that stuff is. I feel like
I sit and watch last night, and I watch Virginia and Ohio and everything else, and I say to myself, like, wow, like I knew I knew that Ohio wasn't gonna fucking. There was no way that they were gonna not have abortion. I mean, there's more women than men. And even though our fucking boy Swami wants to think that it's the man's fucking responsibility, it's like, come on, dude. You can't get a dude to pay fucking child support. You want him to fucking do what?
Did anyone have a worse showing than Vivek last night?
I think that he might be. That's the kind of guy that you wish was like 6'3", like 225. Because you can just punch him right in the face. Now it's like, like you're
beating a little guy up. Yeah,
I know you're hitting a skinny bitch. It's just like this motherfucker, man. I mean, when Nikki fucking he says you're scum.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what the fuck is this a lampoon? Is this? And I've gotten to the point where, my son isn't on this planet anymore, and I'm financially I feel I'm pretty set. And I think I can take care of me and my wife. And, I like the people that we're talking the other day, a couple guys in the gym, they're like, don't you think there'll be a civil war? I'm like, who's going to have this fight? Who's going to battle? Like, like is it the gangs of New York again? Should I get a fucking an eagle fucking thing to put in my eye, or who's going to have this civil war?
I hear that reference sometimes too, but
Did you see fucking Green fucking like going ape shit over the fucking Palestinian, the pro-Palestinian fucking
no.
protest in front of the yeah, shouldn't have a problem with the fucking with the insurrection.
Right.
But man, if you don't want innocent Palestinian kids to and people to get fucking bombed, like that, don't think you get a fucking voice in this fucking country.
The Civil War reference is we've had. Just look at the last century. How much? I mean, there's division. There's division now. We had a country that treated a whole race of people as property, and the government protected your right to do so, sell them, and treat them with below acceptable standards for human race and dignity and all this. So, I mean, people were marching still in. There was a Life magazine. Did I tell you? Did I mention this on the air last week?
You said that you looked at it.
I looked at the Life magazine, and I didn't.
But it was before the civil rights movement.
It was before, and I had. You think you're seeing things that cars. It's an old car, but it's
not a black human being in it.
Not anywhere in the magazine, all 200 pages or whatever it was. So, yes, we have division. We have political discourse now. We've got divergent opinions on rights to marry whoever you want and whatever and those kind of freedoms. But we've had some fucked up divisions that were protected by the government here. And your Civil War in 1864, we haven't had one since. We've found ways around it. We've used legislation. We've tempered our expectations a little. We've broadened our minds.
Well, that and the fact that
we've given human rights.
If the red states actually were to fucking redivide like they did during the Civil War, and all the blue states that
That's
basically
very funny, right?
Keep them functioning on a daily basis, we're just to go, all right, well, you don't want our tax, you don't want none of our fucking help, because there's not one red fucking state, maybe Florida. The rest of the red fucking states are absolutely reliant on fucking blue state fucking funding.
Texas would do okay. Florida would do okay. But yeah, if we had two nations, red nation, blue nation, and the military was rationed according to what tax revenue was generated,
oof,
blue would have a pretty kick-ass fucking military.
Yeah.
That New York, California, Massachusetts, Michigan tax money not flowing to the other states would be a problem. But for those that put up their hands and say, well, it's going to be a civil war, the two sides can't agree, I find it hard to believe that one side wanting to put tape on a stick, or, their cousin who was Frank is Philomena right now. I find it hard to believe that we're coming to blows over these things.
And my whole thing is too is like the longer this goes on, to where like when I actually watched the people from Fox last night, kind of just like nobody's that good of an actor for that long, and you see the fucking people from Fox going, we got to change this. Like, this our like, and you go back to 16. If they don't rig the voting districts there, they lost the fucking general. I mean, the fucking red wave was. I mean,
Yeah.
I just look at it, I'm thinking like, and everybody on the stage last night was saying, I'm tired of being a fucking loser. You're like, well, I feel like the fucking Full Metal Jacket when it fucking comes up to Matthew Bodine and says, what's this? Like, you got a peace sign. If I kill, I duel my but why don't you come along for the fucking big win?
The
You
Born
know?
to Kill.
Yeah, I'm born to kill, and then peace sign. Duality of man, sir. Yeah, why don't you come along for the fucking win, huh, buddy? Like, come on, guys. Fuck.
Crazy time to be alive.
But we did, gotta say, fucking won. The UPS, Auto Workers, Screen Actors Guild, and Writers Guild all fucking settled their strikes.
Yes.
So there is some diplomacy going on in this country.
Figuring it out.
Seems to be all in the proper form of. Would Newsom just make everybody in the fast food industry in California start at $20 an hour?
Was it 20?
20.
Okay.
And then healthcare workers at 25.
It's fair.
So if you're fucking carrying a fucking a bag of shit, you get $25. If you're carrying a Big Mac, 20.
A Big Mac, 20. Both bags of shit. You're going to tell me I would love a fucking Big Mac right now. Let me just tell you. I also want to tell you that Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023, Butch and Sundance Media. I want to remind everyone, Kliq This is a production. No, I'm not losing my mind. I'm not losing my memory that badly. Hey, Kev, listen, next week, what do you say we do another?
We already did.
Schmuck.
We did last week.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing.